Hey guys, this is Patrick Powers. This video is for MUX, Mobile User Experiences, for the October class of 2012, and this is week one. Um, so, as you can see on the screen, I've got a whole bunch of screenshots, and this is to do a quick review or overview of the key heuristics of the two apps that I decided to look over in terms of competition for the app that I was imagining. So what I'm imagining, or what I'm creating, is an application that shows happy hour uh, specials that are potentially closer nearby to your current location, and I'm calling it after work drinks. I'm trying to gear it more towards maybe a business professional trying to just go grab a drink with a friend after work, or a group of friends from work just meeting up right after work and again just grabbing a couple drinks and relaxing. And I'm going to compare that concept to, we have Red Cup on the left, and then on the right we have an application called Happy Hours. So I'll start with Red Cup. Red Cup allows you to choose what area you want to look into for those happy hours. So I actually have selected in this screenshot the Orlando, but you do have the option to click on that. You go over to this page and it allows you to choose Ashburn, Alabama, Huntsville, Orlando, or Tuscaloosa. Once you actually click it, it goes back to this main view and it allows you to actually click through. From an aesthetic standpoint, I think it does look pretty good. However, I do feel that when you look down here, it says pick your poison, beer and shots. Well, beer, in my mind, just goes right down to bar. And I imagine that this, being separated with this line, is one big area. And then the same thing, shots is kind of like VIP. Maybe you're spending more money because liquor is more expensive. I don't know. But I'm thinking that this is one. But actually, this beer is one button. This bars is one button. This shots is one button. This VIP is one button. So I was actually confused as a user initially because I was just clicking on beer and shots, and I didn't actually realize that these were two more buttons. So when you click on beer, you go into a page that looks kind of like this. I actually don't have a screenshot, but it basically shows the happy hour, and it's actually the top 10 happy hours in the area for that given time. When you click on shots, the exact same thing, but instead of for beer, it's for liquor side of things. When you click on bars, it gives you a list of bars, and they have customized this to where it's just the image or branding of that bar, which, if I can just compare it really quickly, I do like that. It does give a better feel to what bar you're going to be looking at compared to Happy Hours. Now, Happy Hours has a wider range, and they don't have necessarily a logo or some way to show it's that particular bar. Sometimes they do, but not always. And I feel this is aesthetically a little bit better. Now, it doesn't give much information, but you dive into it, and that's where you get this information, and it's a little bit more. So that's when you click on bars. When you click on an individual bar, this is actually what shows up. When you click on VIP, you actually get a map view. This is a view of all of the locations in the area. Now, it doesn't actually set your location, it just goes into the area, and they actually have the majority of their bars in downtown Orlando. So you can actually go through and actually click on these annotations, and it shows you a little bit more information. But this I actually did not use. It just automatically sent me to a location where all their bars are located, because they tend to be, it seems like, all downtown. When you click on the eye icon, it does actually pop up a view to help you understand how to actually go through each, or how to navigate, which from an interactivity standpoint is obviously, it makes it very easy. Now, it's a easy app in general. It's very intuitive. You know, you're clicking on buttons, except for the fact that these are different buttons. Once you get to some other pages, again, you click on certain words. This is a list view. You can scroll up and down. You click on it, it goes into a deeper view. Then you have these back arrows everywhere to be able to go back, and then back to the home page. So ultimately, once you get used to it, it is easy to interact. However, when I first was looking at it, I was clicking here and here thinking it was the same thing, and I was going to different pages, and I was confused. So that is one aesthetic thing that I didn't really like, definitely when it came to the overall app. But I do feel, and again, I'm going to compare it to this in just a minute, but there is a little bit more of an attractive overall UI when it comes to the aesthetic side of things and maybe a branding of this Red Cup app. When you come over to the happy hours, this is the main screen that pops up. Now, happy hours is very simple, and it has many less steps than you would when you going through all these views on the Red Cup. You are presented with a list of bars, and what I like is it actually shows the bars that are closest to your location. It also shows the end time of the current happy hour, and it gives a list of potentially happy hour options. When you click on the view, it actually, or the list cell, it goes into a detail view of, and it uses the navigation of that particular bar. Now I find this to be very busy. I find this to be very hard to read exactly because it's very one-toned, whereas you see over here things are really popping off the screen when you go to particular screens. This is really just washed together. It gives you a lot of options for you to be able to do, but is it too much? Does the user need all this information when they're just trying to find drinks and the happy hour specials? And even here you can see the happy hour special. It's not even having to do with drinks. So this app also does food, but it's just a little bit not as clean and overall fresh as I would say the Red Cup. But it does give more information, and I, to be honest, think it's more up-to-date information as they have a more of a live database they pull from. When you click list, again, you go back to the main list. There's ways to filter. You can also refresh as you're changing your location so that it updates it to the closest bar. You can search for a name. You can filter. The filters has another view that pops up, allowing you to filter with different types of bars or restaurants that you're going to be looking for. An example is this is a filter that I've created for a romantic place to go. Unfortunately, I guess Orlando does not have any or a romantic filtered places that I can go for a happy hour at this time. So it allows you to, it does throw an error. It throws an error that allows the user to be able to actually go back in and change the filters appropriately to get additional responses. And it does actually show how many happy hours are in Orlando on this is the company Go Time, but the actual application is called Happy Hours. So the actual user interface is very, I would say, standard, especially when we're learning about the UI table view and jumping into views and then jumping back using the UI navigation. It is pretty standard. And it's a little bit not quite as customized and aesthetically pleasing, I would say, comparatively. It interacts very easily. Every touch that you do is expected. You have these drill down indications. Search features understood. Filter, once you click on it, it's understood. And when you get to these detailed pages, again, you like it, you don't like it, maps, you can email it to a friend. All of this is very intuitive and very user-friendly. So those are the two applications I decided to review in thinking about the application that I am currently looking to build. I think coming away from it, I again really like the aesthetics of the Red Cup. It has a really good uniformed branding of the red and gray, and then it also has some pop of color and overall just design when it comes to the individual branding of each bar that you're looking into. It also is very, at least the free trial version, which is the one that you're looking at, very directed towards beer and shots or drinking essentially, whereas you can see here on the map, once you actually purchase the full version, you can get additional food options and also some other options as well once you get into the VIP purchased version of the Red Cup. I do like actually the functionality better of the happy hours in that it's a little bit more standard as to how to go into the detail view and back, and I wasn't nearly as lost as I was when I was trying to figure out this whole beer shots bars VIP. So that is my overall heuristic evaluation of these two apps in comparison to the app that I would like to create and have begun to research into. So that is it. Thanks so much, guys.